tuning into my YouTube channel, and thank you for subscribing. If you have not subscribed, you're missing big. Subscribe, and of course hit the bell so that you're the first to know when we upload a video. Due to COVID-19, a lot of companies have engaged in a retrenchment strategy. Some of them have laid off their staff. Others have used what they call redundancy. And others have sent their staff on unpaid leave. And most of the staff are really affected, because the question you ask yourself is, if I was redundant, how is it that immediately you leave, others are installed the same day you leave? So today, I want to talk to those people who have been retrenched. I want to talk to you who has lost income. I want to talk to you who has lost your job, and talk to you on how you can cope, because you must cope and you must bounce back, okay? I am saying that you must bounce back. So how do you cope with retrenchment or loss of income? Now, the first thing that you must do if you've been retrenched or you've lost income is you must stay calm. You know, you can easily be tempted to actually be rough. You can be tempted to tell off your employer, to tell off your boss. I would advise you to stay calm and chase the money that you are owed. For the simple reason, you never burn bridges. You never know what happens. We have seen people who have been retrenched or fired or left, and they have gone back to the same employer years after. So stay calm. You need not tell your employer off. Just concentrate on what they owe you and look for what they owe you, because it is not wise to burn bridges. The other way that is very important, according to me, if you have to cope with retrenchment and loss of income. And by the way, I'm talking from experience. I did lose my job. I was doing very well, extremely well. And one morning, the CEO calls me, tells me very nice stories about how, Mary, you are working hard and how you're performing so well. But unfortunately, then I'm like, hey, why tell me all these good things and you then let me go? And you can imagine it happened in the morning. You've reported to work. In the morning, the boss calls you, think they are briefing you, but actually they are laying you off. So I'm talking from experience. Stay calm. The other way that you can cope up with retrenchment or loss of income is you must not take it personally. The problem is not you, okay? The problem is not your performance. It is not about you. It is about the strategy of the company. So do not take it personally and feel like you have failed. You have not failed. No. It is not about you. You have performed well. I've seen some of the journalists, for example, that have been fired. People who really do a great job. It is not about you. It is about the strategy of the employer. Yeah? And being retrenched, by the way, I know can be very humiliating. As I have said, I've experienced it. It can be very humiliating, especially depending on how you've been retrenched or how you've been laid off. I have seen people saying in news how they just received a text message. Very humiliating. You can imagine you've worked for an organization for years. You have brought revenue, and somebody just fires you on email or on a text. It can be humiliating, but you know what? You must be kind to yourself. Did you know that what you do is not exactly who you are? No. The job you do is not who you are, does not define who you are. So you've got to be kind to yourself. Don't resort to self-pity. Don't feel like it was your problem, because it was not your problem. So be kind to yourself. Then have a plan in place. When you lose income, you must have a plan in place. If you are not lucky and you have no other source of income, then you've got to even do a budget plan. For me, at least I had invested enough. I didn't change my lifestyle that much. But of course, I did a plan to ensure that I was able to live, to live with the investments that I had done. And by the way, it was a very hard time for me because it was a time that my mom was not well and she required quite some money for medicine. And then you lose your job. But look at it this way. I am here. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. Because losing your job, losing your income is not loss of everything. You must bounce back, and you bounce back better. So you must have a plan and ask yourself, am I going to look for another job, or am I going to start a business? For me, what I did, because I want to share to you my story so that you did it, what I did is of course, I had done my investments. Then I decided to start a consultancy firm, which is still on to date. And I got a job, and I want to thank the company that gave me my first consultancy job, BioDeal Laboratories. Thank you very much. You may never have known, but that job that you gave me changed my life. Yeah? So for me, I decided I'll go into consultancy and also look for part-time teaching. And that is what I did. But at least I had investments that could put food on the table. For some reason, the loss of job, of course, when you lose over 400,000 shillings a month, it's not a joke. Yeah? What I'm saying is you must have a plan. What are you going to do next? Then you must have a budget. Why a budget is important, especially if you have no other source of income, what you must do is you must fit into your new financial, way. Yeah? Don't live beyond your means. Let me help you, especially the celebrities of this world. You don't need to live beyond what you can afford. It is about your life. You don't live for other people. Okay? Life is not a competition. Don't feel pressurized to continue living in Westlands. If you can afford to live in Eastlands, move with your head high, because that is what you can afford. You don't need to please people when you're suffering. Okay? Have a plan and have a budget and live within your means. And by the way, there is nothing wrong with feeling bad. Cry once in a while in your bedroom. But after you've cried, boy, wake up and move on. Because guess what? I am of the opinion that you must never be attached too much to an organization or to a person. What you should be attached to is your mission and your purpose in life. Okay? Because you and your job are mutually exclusive. Even the people who replaced you will leave. There is no job that is permanent. The only job that is permanent is your own side hustle. And that is what I'm also encouraging many people who are employed today. Even if you are employed by government, you see people say I am permanent and pensionable. Let me tell you something. Even permanent and pensionable jobs can come to an end, because companies can go bankrupt. Parastatals can go bankrupt. Parastatals can be abolished. Do something. Look for a side hustle. Something that you do. Not just your job. Okay? So have a plan and have a budget. The other very key important thing is keep connected. Do not lose your networks. Because, as they say, your net worth is equal to your networks. Losing your job does not mean you lose all your connections. Keep yourself connected. Very, very important. Because by the way, most times, even from a consultancy point of view, you get work because you're connected. You get work because you have networks. So never lose them. Yeah? The other key way that is important, remember I'm talking from experience. Yeah? The other key thing that is very important when you lose your income or when you are retrenched is you must ensure you have a working medical scheme. It is not difficult, it is not expensive. If all fails and you cannot afford to have a medical scheme, an insurance cover, ensure that your NHIF card is up to date, because it can save you when you least expect it. Yeah? So ensure, and it also gives you peace of mind to know that if you're unwell, you're covered. Because by the way, when you lose income, when you're retrenched, sometimes you even feel sick, even when you're not sick. Yeah? I'm talking to you from a point of experience, from a point of knowledge, how it feels. Yeah? And by the way, if you feel overwhelmed, reach to someone. Do you have that one person that you can talk to when you feel overwhelmed? Sometimes I imagine if I had not invested enough. I imagine that I was paying a house. My friend. I imagine that I had no money, for instance, to buy medicine for my mama. I would have been depressed. But thank God, because of my side hustles, because of my investments, I was able to go on with life seamless. In fact, some people listening to this video who are my friends may have never known that I did not have a job for 3 good years. Nobody knew. I was able to do what I was doing before because of the investments. That's another thing, by the way. When you earn good money, invest. Yeah, invest. Some of you earn all the money and they eat. And they start pleasing their friends, taking them to carnival, taking them to a sereni. My friend, invest. At least have some houses where you can collect something. Invest in something. Because that way, even when you are retrenched, you are not even likely to be bitter. Because bitterness can kill you. You don't need to be bitter. By the way, there are people who have lost their income, they have lost their jobs, and they have bounced back stronger. You know what we call a blessing in disguise? You bounce back better, yeah? So ensure, if you feel overwhelmed, reach to that one person that you treasure. And of course, very important, take time to reflect. You must remember, I have to repeat this, you must remember, many people have passed through what you've passed. You are not alone. In fact, the good book says that what has come upon you is not new to man. Yeah? Losing a job is not new. People are losing jobs right center. So you must sit down and reflect. And remember, your job only defines what you do, not who you are. Please do not forget that. In the entire thing that I have said today, you must remember that your job only defines what you do, not who you are. I want to tell you, you will bounce back because it is about you. The skills is about you. It is not about the organization. And remember, it is not you as the problem. That is strategy of the organization. And you're mutually exclusive. You will bounce back. I hope this video has helped you. For those that have lost jobs, those that have lost income, it is my prayer that you will bounce back. It is my prayer that you will sit and reflect. It is my prayer that you will find that side hustle that you can do. And by the way, some of these side hustles are those things that you enjoy doing, what I would call your hobby. You see, me, I enjoy encouraging people. By the way, my mission in life is to positively affect lives. And that is the side hustle that I do. Yeah? You call me, I speak to your people, you pay me. Yeah? So, I hope this has helped you. Share this to as many people as you can. Help people who have lost their jobs. Encourage them. And by the way, if you have a friend who has lost a job, check them out. It is good to know how they are doing. It is good to know if they have eaten. It is good to know. There are things that people will never forget. Personally, there are people in my own life I will never forget because they were there for me when things were thick. They were there for me when I needed them most. And by the way, sometimes when you lose a job or when you lose income, most people run away. If you have those kind of friends, just know God is removing you from the bad people so that you can be better. Thank you very much for watching this video. Like this video, share, leave a comment, and subscribe. And ask a few of your friends to subscribe, because together we will affect lives positively. God bless you.